Well, guys, it overheated anyway, so it's all good. Just gonna have to speed this up. So now that I have it in here, and I know where I'm gonna cut this peach tree to, this rotten peach tree um, branch here for stabilization, I'm gonna sprinkle some more of my amendments all over, trying to make good contact with the roots, right? So that immediately when I put the soil on and everything becomes nice and moist, it's starting to eat efficiently. Those bacteria and microbes are breaking everything down immediately, and the plant doesn't skip a beat. So here I go cutting this bad boy. I believe I said I'm going to cut it right about here. Right. Bring it in for another measurement. Once it is secured, it is secured. So that is up straight the way I want it to grow. So now all I'm focused on doing is making sure this right here, this peach stalk, stays right there. That's where I need it to be. Get my shovel. Got some of this pre-made, healthy, premium soil that I made here with my amendments, with different decomposables as well. I used some of my own organic banana stocks to help break things down and multiply bacteria. I used local mulch as well, fresh hardwood mulch, for long-term feeding of those bacteria. And my amendments will make sure all those bacteria are healthy in the long term and be able to break all this stuff down in its own pace, on its own pace. All right, so boom. Still want to be careful because those roots are still exposed. Boom, bam. See if I can put you in the shade. Buy a little bit more time. And once I have my stabilizer nice and sturdy, by compacting more soil around it than everything else, it is at that point sorry y'all, I had to go get my twine here. Cut off some of that. And then what I'll do is, now I'll just prop her up. Nice and sturdy, making sure to leave plenty of slack so she can grow as thick as she wants to. Boom. Make sure that the knot is nice and tight. And there she is, nice and propped up, just how I would like her to. And I even have a little bit more slack, so I can come in a bit more with it. And that's probably what I'll do. She's standing up straight, but I have to also anticipate when she puts on more weight, where will she start leaning? And of course, as I continue to layer on more soil, I'm going to sprinkle more amendments in. Almost done. And you can't really overdo it with my amendments. Everything is organic and breaks down on its own time, right? And because everything breaks down on its own time, it can't really overload the roots or overwork the roots, burn the roots in any way. Boom. Now what I'll do is just fill everything in. Make sure everything is patted down, nice, compact, good contact with those roots. And now, because I don't want to waste anything, I'll come over here. We had basically a giant weed that grew into a tree. I'm going to take all these leaves and just put them on top of this plant, my soursop, as a nice decomposing mulch. This way I don't have to worry about the weeds coming back because there's no seeds in it. But I can use the leaves of this once unwanted plant to mulch and cover my soursop, allowing it to have even more food in the future when this breaks down. Protect from the sun evaporating all of the water so it can hold and retain more moisture, and make sure all the microbial life stays at a good moisture and temperature level. And as many of you could probably guess, all of this can be structural support for another plant. Just that easy, guys. Zero waste. I was able to use soil from other plants that didn't make it. That also was my already made soil, so I knew that the condition of the soil was good. It still had some organic matter, full of microbes. All I have to do is repurpose it. And by putting that soil at the bottom, every time I water, I am watering those nutrients from the top of the plant into the lower soil, allowing that lower soil to regain as much microbes and everything as much as it wants. check it out. And I'll probably add a bit more anyway, but you can see how it comes together as a nice thick mulch layer that will eventually break down pretty quick because it is just leaves. But in the next couple of months, I will have moisture retention. My microbes will have plenty to break down between my amendments, the organic banana stalks, as you can see in the background, that I've applied. And everything that I apply in my soil that's not my amendments is typically to feed my amendments and the bacteria and fungus that my amendments give off. So they can mass produce and really colonize the entire pot. The more that they have to eat, the more that the fungus has to inoculate, those microbes will multiply and sustain. You get more microbes by having more things in your soil for the microbes to eat. And I make sure I pinpoint each ingredient that I'm feeding my microbes for longevity, return, and all around soil composition. So I can get real nerdy with it, but typically what I'm teaching you guys is to how to reuse soil. I had those pots over there. I had a few other pots with soil from plants that didn't make it, the summer heat or whatever have you. Squash vine borer took care of it, or killed it, I should say. And I just repurposed that soil, right? Boom, just like that. My baby will be able to sit here and grow for another year or two. And when need be, I can still move her into the sunroom, move her into the outhouse, move her wherever it needs be so that she doesn't get frozen. But until next time, guys, peace. Keep growing. It is hot out here.